I suppose when all that's said and that story about me is relevant to all of us, and I wanted to share that with the world, that right now, whatever you're going through, and this is a really good time to talk about that, because we got challenges all over the world with inequality, we got challenges with coronavirus, we got challenges with people losing their livelihood and finding their way and their purpose. Now's the time to believe that these times will shape you, they will make you, they will force you to be stronger. I originally wrote this story, would have been August 2016. I was just leaving America to head back home to Sydney. I mean, just looking at it, I can feel the energy of the story, but so much was going on in my world, so much growth, so much learning. I had asked whatever the powers be to be able to do what I do at a very high level. And I've always known it comes with great responsibility. And it was very hard to move forward in those days sometimes because it's a new world, you're doing new things, you're finding yourself, and it's a journey. And it's a tough journey sometimes. And I wasn't in the best place as I was trying to fight my way through many different challenges and build myself up and be stronger. And these things kept happening to me as they do in our lives. And I was struggling to find that strength within. And I sat down. I might have been I'm not sure if I was in Santa Barbara, San Francisco, or Long Beach. One of those three places. I'm pretty sure I was near the water though when I wrote that. And it was just a story of what I was going through in my life. And I just quickly started to write that down on paper in my journal, and I drew a little line underneath that. And you know, my line looked more like a llama or a horse or something like that. That's about my artistic level. It looked more like a llama. And the moral of the story was I was tired. I was uncertain about many things, even though I knew what my calling was and I'd already found some great success. I wanted more. I wanted to roar. I wanted to share that voice at the highest level, something I still strive to do today. And I wanted to roar. I wanted to feel my power within. And unfortunately, I wasn't ready. And that's a hard thing to accept. Only in hindsight, you realize you have to grow, Joe. You have more to learn. You have more experiences to take on board. You have more people to help. There's things you need to learn about life before you take that to that level. And I didn't understand fully my responsibility. I did to an extent, but to do what I'm going to do and what I do I would have to grow at such a high level. I'd have to become more than I've ever been before. I was a lion cub. I really was. Even though I was doing things which were great, within I'm still growing. Even today, I'm sure we're all still growing, and I'm growing. So I sat down. I distinctly remember sitting down by the water, writing that piece and drawing my little llama in the corner. And I sat on that for a number of years. I don't think I actually posted this in any format till maybe 2018, when I felt I was ready to share that message with the world. But prior to that, I shelved it and sat on it and slowly worked away at it to craft a really beautiful story. I only get 2,200 characters on Instagram, so as some of you might imagine, these monologues and inscriptions, although I get them down to 2,200 characters, I think, or words, that would have been much longer. So to craft it down into that piece is hard. When I was ready to share the artwork and bring it to life, I commissioned that to an artist who could draw something that didn't look like a horse and create a lion type creature for a change. And he was just hanging out on a branch, and I was I was like, that's cool. That sums me up in a nutshell. That sums up the story. And the artwork, which I share occasionally, and I reshare about it with the world because it means a lot to me. But I don't share it too often. The color, the texture, the story encapsulates how I was feeling. It's a very mature piece. It's most probably one of my favorites, and it's really about me. And the final lines of that story, I'm lucky to have the words here. Though his soul was tired, his heart broken, and his scars showing for all the world to see, his faith was strong because the journey did not break him. He found his strength. He found his voice, and he found his crown. And on the final page, a king was born. And that's how the piece finishes. And I did find my strength. And I did become more. And because of that, I was able to do things at a whole nother level, with a whole level of a lot more maturity, a lot more strength. I became even more purposeful, and some people would often wonder how that's possible. Because I'm a very purposeful person. Sometimes to my own detriment, sometimes to the highest level. But I believe we have responsibility to lead the world, humanity. I don't put that responsibility in anyone else's hands. I don't believe that's someone else's duty or responsibility. That's wholly mine. To be respectful, to teach, to show every human being how to do the thing we call life, so they can feel their power within. They can share their story and one day grow up and roar and make a difference. I don't put that responsibility in anyone's hands. I don't take it lightly. That's my whole responsibility. And that's how I carry myself. That's how I conduct myself. That's who I am as a person. I always have been, and I always will be. But the story and the energy of that story is that even myself, I had to grow through the darkest of nights. I had to go on journeys which I wish I didn't have to go on. I wish my heart wasn't broken. I wish the days weren't so dark sometimes. But those wishes and hopes that things get better really help me sharpen the sword within. They craft me and they make me stronger. And I suppose when all that's said, and that story about me is relevant to all of us, and I wanted to share that with the world, that right now, whatever you're going through, and this is a really good time to talk about that, because we got challenges all over the world with inequality, we've got challenges with coronavirus, we've got challenges with people losing their livelihood and finding their way and their purpose. Now's the time to believe that these times will shape you, they will make you, they will force you to be stronger. It's dark, and I've seen darkness in many parts of my life. I've been down rock bottom and I've come back. I've bounced back. I always bounce back. But some days I don't want to bounce back. Some days I'm like, I'll go play tennis or play golf, and that's the day. I'll go. There's other things to do. They've got a thing called Netflix and a PlayStation. I hear. I'm going to try that one day. But it's a journey, and you've got to be strong. And yeah, we all go through heartbreak. We all go through sacrifice. It's all painful. More often than not, 80% of the time it is painful. No one's having a great time in the world, but no one's telling you that. 80% of the time it's hard work, it's heartbreak, it's pain, it's frustration. But you live for that small piece. You live for that small piece in your life where you get to shine, where you feel empowered and feel strong within. And for once in your life, you get to roar. But that roar is not for noise sake. That roars so you can help make the world a better place and put your brick into society and know that you did something. Not just noise sake, I want to roar, I want to be loud, I want to be empowered. It's a very deep, meaningful roar which people feel within. Not noise, which I think we see a lot of in society today. Roaring and making noise doesn't make you a lion. It's the energy within and the intention to do it right, to make people better, to make yourself better, to make the world better, and to actually do something of meaning. This piece represents a part of me. Yeah, a very special part of me, and I'm just grateful I've been able to share that work with people all over the world. And I hope that means that body of work, if you ever get a chance to read it again, you can feel that story within. And I hope it empowers you to keep going, because at the end of the going is something great.